Is stereotyping and labelling bad, or is it necessary in order to make decisions and understand the world? The big issue in terms of stereotyping at present is racism. Religion is there with it as well. So is sex. Now, we need to put labels on things, just like that's furniture, that's a dog, not a cat, even though dogs and cats vary quite a bit in colour and appearance. Now, racism. We're quite happy to identify someone as a mother. We're quite happy to identify someone as a convicted criminal. But when it comes to race issues, we don't want to say the person was of Aboriginal background. We don't want to say the person was of Middle East appearance or allegiance. And AI, it even tells me explicitly that it's been trained not to identify people in terms of race when it hasn't been explicitly acknowledged by the person involved. Of course, people don't know their racial background. Now, when it comes to looking at DNA, a race is not clear, but clearly you could see I don't actually look Chinese. I don't actually look like I come from the Congo. Now, the problem is that certain groups have certain ways of doing things. To deny there are cultural differences is to negate multiculturalism. So there's all kinds of contradictions in our society. Now, in terms of religion, there's no doubt about it. Most of the terrorist major events in the last 50 years have been by Islamic people. Now, other groups might have committed religious crimes in the past, including Christians, like the Inquisition. But we cannot avoid using and categorizing people. The left are prone to call the right racist. They're prone to call them fascist. When I was growing up, the far left were called communists and Stalinists. That's when the Cold War was at its height. Now, these labels, if we educate children and adolescents well, they'll be able to make their way through these labels, but we don't. Words have a denotation, which is their basic meaning. And they have a connotation which is their emotional meaning. And we're in debate about some of them. But the word woman or female denotes someone that can have a baby, that can carry a baby in their body. Now, there's words that are negative for women. There are words that are negative for male. But let's get off this very controversial area and let's just look at the word house. It's fairly neutral, a place where people live. A positive emotion is home. Another denotation or basic meaning is abode, although it tends to have a bit of a positive feel about it. A negative word for house could be shack, although that can be positive under some situations, like a big shack. But it certainly doesn't mean a luxury house. Hovel, slum, they're all negative. Castle, mansion, they're positive. Now, the same with a lot of words. They have an emotional meaning and they have a basic meaning. The emotional meanings can be positive, they can be negative, they can be strongly negative, strongly positive. So, notice how a European person might see someone who's attacked an aeroplane as a hijacker or a terrorist, whereas someone from Palestine-controlled Gaza might see the same person as a freedom fighter. So we have all kinds of problems with the language, and this probably occurs in all languages, but it certainly occurs in Europe, in English. It certainly occurs in newspapers. So some terms are more or less acceptable, though it's stereotyping. When you refer to someone as partner, wife, mother, father, grandfather, grandfatherly, you are creating a type. And these terms often have emotional connotation. Mother of three, that gets a positive view, a positive, let's say, feeling in most readers. It means someone who's loving and caring but has a difficult job. Whereas single male doesn't have that positive, fuzzy, nice feeling about it. A lot of words have metaphorical meaning. Toxic is applied to a male whom you disagree with. Females will use toxic masculinity, suggesting that males are poisonous like snakes or some kind of potion that will kill you. We don't tend to use the word toxic in regard to females, but we will use words like whore and slut. The strongest view in the same category with males is stud, and that's got negative and positive aspects to it. So we indicate our feelings for the same kind of activity. With the female it's negative, with the male it's seen as negative and positive, but mainly positive, especially by other males. I've kind of wandered all over the place, but stereotyping is inevitable It's a way of categorizing, a way of labeling. It should be done as unemotionally as possible, but sometimes the facts point to only an emotional word is appropriate for what has happened for the facts, though people, of course, will argue about the facts. Anyhow, just some thoughts on language and labeling and stereotypes. Thank you.